Hello and a good Monday morning. How are you? I want to cover today's subject, something that is rather serious and is stirring around Europe, notably Germany, but in other places too. Now, one thing I picked up on, and that is the news, the AfD, the far right wing national party in Germany, that despite all the odds, despite the liberal agenda, despite the liberal crazy people who are trying to undermine far right wing groups, parties, if you like, patriotism and nationalism, the AfD has done very well. And what's shocking is that the AfD is the first time in 50 years, the first time in 50 years that the far right wing party can share, if you like, bounties. They can share at the same table and of delight and discuss politics and changes. Now, what is so shocking about this is that the government did not, oh, sorry, the government underestimated. They underestimated that if you put your country on the brinks of terrorism, Muslim invasion, Islamic invasion, a threat to your culture, the government underestimated that far right wing groups will capitalize upon people's anger and frustration. It's all being well, the government tried to paint a multicultural happiness, a multicultural cesspool of togetherness. In reality, it is far from the truth. What we see in Germany is happening around Europe. Far right wing groups are capitalizing upon the silence and bitterness and anger from many white Europeans who feel invaded by Islamic extremists. And it's no wonder that the far right wing groups are doing very well. It's no wonder that people are voting in extremists that will listen to their broken heart, that will listen to their voice of frustration, because no other parties are listening to the voices of the broken people. Why? Because their interests are in Arab oil. Their interest is for Muslim booty, Muslim minerals and resources, and as such, the government have no problem putting their own people at risk. In Sweden, Muslim men are raping blonde Swedish women. Blonde Swedish women, just as well. I'm not blonde at all, so I'm quite safe. You know, I am pretty, but I'm quite safe. I'm not blonde. But Muslim men are going around rampantly raping, right, blonde women. Not brunettes, not black-haired, blondes. And in, I think it's Germany and England, the number of rapes that are carried out are done by Muslims, but the establishment are keeping these crimes hushed. They want oil, so they're keeping the Muslim crimes hushed. They no longer call them Muslims, they call them Arabs or Pakistani. They're removing the word Islam and Muslims, protecting this devilish cult, this devil religion. They're protecting it and saying Pakistani, Arab men, raping these white girls, but they won't tell you that it's Muslims or Islamic. Because why? They got interest in oil. What is happening in Germany, where far-right wings, for the first time in 50 years, the people have spoken and they brought in the far-right wing, which means Angela Merkel did not do very well. The German people slaughtered her. The German people took out their sword of defiance. The German people took out their sword, which is their voice. And it says, no more to establishment, no more to government corruption, no more to government greed and wickedness and compromise. And the German people spoke. And they says, give us nationalism, give us extremism, give us far right, give us our identity, give us nationalism that we can stand for and fight for. While the liberals were turning your boys into girls and your girls into boys, while the liberals are putting skirts on your boys and trousers on your girls, these nationalists, these people with Republican identity and values, they are saying, give us order, give us sense and stability. We only want our country back. What's happened in Germany will happen all over Europe. And what's shocking about this anti-Muslim feel will permeate into the rivers of blood, meaning it won't just be Muslims that will be attacked, but sadly other ethnic groups. Sadly, so therefore I have my bags packed, my suitcase. I'm ready to go to Africa, to savage Africa, to live on bananas, just in case I get somebody bombing my house. So my suitcase are packed. You know, my passport, where's my passport? Is ready. Things are heating up. Things are getting hot and heavy. So my suitcase is ready. Why? The same thing will happen in England, in Britain. The people's voices are ignored. The government are forcing over their policy, bringing over not Muslim victims, but there's a survey something which I read, where a lot of the rapes that were done and terrorism were done by Muslims escaping from Syria, and they used that for pretext to spread Islam or rape beautiful blonde women. It's a Muslim fantasy. They love blonde women. If you look at Muslim boxers, they always marry to blonde women. It's a fetish. They got a cultural sickness, you know, which Muhammad never addressed. Muhammad never healed these Arabs of this Western sickness. They love white women with blonde hair. It's a sickness. But however, England will be next. England. Anyhow, the government continue to play games with people's lives, where you can't even condemn Muslim terrorism. You must put up with your family being raped, and you're the one who get charged for hate crimes. You can't even discuss Muslim terrorism. The government are playing games, and the government, I don't know if that's their agenda. I don't know if the government's playing games. But as a result, far right wings, extremism, consciousness will sweep the United Kingdom. It's all being well, people pretend to have no views. When you talk to people about these things, oh, they act stupid, you know, they go strange. But you know something? They're not so strange that when it comes to the voting, they're not so strange. Suddenly their brain picks up, their patriotic spirit comes alive, and suddenly they vote for the extreme far right wing. And the governments are doing that. The governments are creating nationalistic, patriotic, anger because Europeans have had enough of being raped, murdered, terrorized. Christians are being persecuted by Muslims. I'm a Christian. I'm a strong Christian. And I deal with Christian persecution in most of my videos. The church don't care. The church is all about money. But Muslims, they kill Christians all over the Pakistan, you name it, in Muslim countries. And the West, because of their love of oil, they turn a blind eye. It's no wonder people are begging for something different. It's no wonder people are going for extreme far right wing. It's unhealthy to go for hate. But what can you do when your own government are putting you in danger for oil and profit? What can you do? I leave that food for thought for you to meditate upon this Monday morning. Thank you.